Hi, Victoria Casey here, and I was writing the blog for today about the idea of having an open house, whether or not that's a really good idea. And I went to, and I've included the link in the article. I went to this really, really good report here that's actually done by the Redfin Research Center about open houses. And they're saying what percent had an open house, and then does it actually help you sell anything? Here's the deal. Sometimes there's a correlation, but we don't know. In other words, when A happens, B is usually present. That doesn't mean that A caused B. It means that they may or may not be related. In other words, because people have open houses naturally, that doesn't mean that's what sold their home. On the other hand, if you see open houses that tend to outsell other homes, then you can be certain that it's probably caused by that open house. So you have to eliminate the other variables. And so they were showing percentage of listed sold within a 90-day period, and then they were showing how much of those, I'm going up here, they didn't hold an open house, they held an open house, they didn't. And what they got, the basically thing that they got down to was they found out that it may or may not help. As I said here, everywhere else the picture gets a little more fuzzy. In some of the markets, there's virtually no difference in the percentage of homes that sold whether they had an open house or not. In other areas, San Francisco apparently, it's really, really possibly a good idea to have an open house. And in fact, it's expected that you have an open house. And if you don't, you're less likely to sell your house because people apparently have a bad perception about it. So it really breaks down to where you live, what your budget and expectations are. And that's why personally, unless you're in San Francisco, I would say that especially if you're living in Las Vegas, Phoenix, Austin, or Chicago, and or even Portland, Los Angeles, looking here, it may not be a good idea to have an open house. It may be a lot of expense and maybe end up being more of a networking situation for your realtor. So my take, depending on where you live, I would suggest maybe just doing a virtual tour. In other words, a virtual open house. It has 24/7 access. You can stage your home the way you want it to do, to appear rather. And I just think it has a lot more upsides. And to me, I don't think it's worth the hassle, the time, and the money, and just the headache of having an open house. For your realtor, the realtors are really divided on this. A lot of realtors really, really love open houses. And some have told me personally that they do though because they use them for networking. And I understand that. For the realtor side, there really isn't a downside unless they have to be at two separate places at the same time. For you, there may be a downside. So figure out what works for you. That's my recommendation. As always, become an informed consumer. Don't take my word for it. Don't take your realtor's word for it. Don't take anybody's word for it. Do the legwork yourself. Research things and figure out what works for you and your family. Have a great day.